Okay, this is my documentary of a life as a poet. And here we have something I'm working on. Let's see, it's called 30 Minutes Till My Meds Kick In. And it's supposed to be a really long poem. And when I finish it, hopefully I'll be able to finish it. It should be what it's like while I'm waiting for my meds to kick in. Alright, this is a lot of what a poet does, or this poet does anyway. I'll just sit here, stare at the cars and wait for a line to come up and smoke, or come up with, sometimes I come up with full ideas of poems out here. I'll start writing them. So I'm trying to turn this on me now. I'm not a filmmaker, so I'm limited. I'm doing this on my iPhone. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for something to creep up into my head, and hopefully it'll be good and you can wait here with me. It's kind of, sometimes this gets difficult because I'm working on one where I finished one today already. I'll read that one later. But after I finish one, it's like, all right, I'm done for the day almost, and I don't want to do that. So I want to write some more. So. Yeah, this is where I do a lot of thinking and recovery from mental illness. I do out here a lot too, a lot of praying and just trying to get myself together. So. Okay, so as I was saying outside, I did write a poem today, and I'm going to read it to you now, like I said I was going to. It's called A Quick Poem Before Therapy. I have a lot to say. I have nothing to say. I wish I would have canceled this appointment. I need the therapy of a pillow. Only unconsciousness is an ointment. Here's the worst part of being a poet. You just sit here, you have nothing to write. You feel like you can't write. You just feel stuck. But you gotta realize it'll pass. Like something will come eventually, and in the meantime, you just gotta. I need your word. It wasn't you. Of course it wasn't. Realize maybe you need a break. Maybe your mind needs a break. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on in the subconscious. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now.
was a joke.
Hi, Dan. So we're going to go ahead and continue the documentary you started. You're sharing with the audience about what it's like to be a poet.
Right. Before we start, I want to, you're my wife, so
well,
what did you think of what you saw of the documentary so far?
Well, I think I want to know more about what it's like to be a poet. Tell me some of the more exciting parts of being a poet.
It's exciting when an email pops up on your screen that something's going to be published. That's exciting. Or if you're really enjoying writing a poem. I can remember one time I was at a diner and I was just really into the writing of the poem and really enjoying myself writing it. And a publisher, Marissa, liked that poem.
Where do you find that you get a lot of the inspiration to write the poems that you write? I've seen in your books that a lot of them are about personal experiences, but a lot of them are completely fictional.
Right. Well, that's what I wanted. That's what the first part of this hopefully has shown is like, you know, like you just sit there and you wait and and like you hope something comes to your head and like one thing that's in my latest book, Written in the Dust on the Ceiling Fan.
Can I see that book for the audience, please? Written in the Dust on the Ceiling Fan by Dan Flore III. And is that available online to purchase?
Yes.
Okay.
On Amazon.
Amazon, you said? And how would you find that book on Amazon? Amazon's a pretty big website.
I love this plug here. I think if you type in the title and my name, maybe, or just my name should bring it up. Dan Flore III.
Okay, and is that your only book on Amazon?
No, I have other books too.
Okay, but this is the most recent one you've written this year, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
And like I was saying, you had asked me about inspiration. Where do the poems come from?
Yes, I'm very curious to know.
Well, like this one is called Out of Our Minds on a Pleasant Sunday Afternoon. I was sitting out there and I was watching the guy across the street and I wrote the first 4 lines in my head. And so it just came from looking at him and thinking about him and thinking about things I've seen just looking out over there. And it turned out to be a poem I'm really proud of, and it made it into the book. And so it can be, you know, you take a thought and you go with it and you wonder where it's gonna go.
In what you're saying, do you feel like poetry is something that comes to you, or do you feel like it's more something that comes from you?
It's both. It's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of both.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, you have to work. I mean, some poems are a lot of work. Like the other night I wrote one that was really like, I just really worked at it, drove my brain nuts till I could barely even understand what I was writing, because I was working at it so hard. But it turned out to be a good poem. It turned out, no, it was another one that I was happy with. And so you really have to, I have to put in a lot of effort like that sometimes. Other times they come easily, like the first 4 lines are the ones I was saying about the neighbor. You know, it came easily, you know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop the interview here for just a moment and we'll return later.
Okay, so I was sitting on the deck before, and then later you see me, and I'm like, I got nothing. So that time sitting on the deck didn't work, but I just came in from the deck, and I do have an idea for a poem. And the first couple lines are the first few lines I composed out there on the deck. So this is a time of inspiration for me. It's always an exciting time. And then after you have the finished product, you know, you can, in today's day and age, you can share it and get feedback right away. So I'm going to get to work now. But I guess I'll tell you the few lines I have. When no poem comes, I wilt in the sun like a caramel cracker jack. I may as well put a porta potty out on the deck, 'cause I'm just sitting out here taking a dump. No, never mind, I am the dump. So now I may change that or whatever, but you know, I'm gonna go with what I have and start the writing process. So that's where I'm at now. I have what I think is a good first draft of the poem that I was just talking about. Here it is. I don't have a title yet, but I think I'll go with Drano. So here's the poem. Drano. When no poem comes, I wilt in the sun like a caramel cracker jack. You may as well put a porta potty on the deck, 'cause I'm just taking a dump out there. I don't even need the porta potty, I am the dump, with no one to put me in a baggie. Actually, with no inspiration, I feel like a dump in the toilet, completely clogged. Okay, so I finished another poem, and here it is, right there. I got everything set up here, my laptop. If I can get that, my laptop and my laptop and my rough draft, and I'm transferring the rough draft over to the computer, typing it up, and this can be tedious, the typing, or it can be relaxing. It can be relaxing to type something up. Right now, I'm really rushing it to get it on there, but I need to just relax and type it up. So, yeah, it's another part of being a poet. Transfer. If you write in longhand first, you got to transfer it. If you want to share it or try to get it published. Sometimes I write on my laptop or my phone, but you know, I prefer starting with longhand. It's more relaxing, the strokes of the pen. So, I'll read you this poem after I have it typed up. All right, I got the poem all typed up now. So I'm going to read it to you. Let me just bring it up here. hallucinating while my friend smokes pot and looks at me like I'm Jesus. I see things that aren't there. My friend thinks it's cool, says I'm a poet having visions. But I'm sick and they're hallucinations, so I wish he would just shut the hell up about how awesome it is. But he doesn't. He just goes on and on. You're like Ginsberg and Yeats. Visions, man. You gotta heal the tribe. Come on, Lizard King. What visions are you seeing? I'm sick, you jerk, I say, and I ask him to leave. But I don't get him out. God, it's hard to get a hallucination to go away. I got some good news. I got a poem published on the Open Arts Forum. So that's some good news. It's kind of... The poem's about a scumbag, and I use the word I. And, like, it's not me. The I is not me. Like, it's not true. So I hate when people think because it says I went to the store. Oh, Dan Flore went to the store. It's him. It's about him. You know, there's fictional writing and poetry, so... Anyway, after I get a publication, I try to, like, celebrate, feel good about it for a little bit. I went out on the deck and just tried to feel good about it. But sometimes it's hard to feel good about it. But like yesterday, I really wanted to get one on the front page there. And, you know, it didn't happen. But today it did. So I should feel good about it. And I do. I will feel better about it. I don't know why I feel good about it. Anyway, and then I wanted to show you what I'm working on here. A lot of editing, probably a lot of editing. This is typing some more up. Sorry, this is taking so long. Another part of being a poet, going through tons of stuff. Here it is to get to what you're trying to, going through tons of stuff to get through what you're trying to, you see all that text? It's a lot of text. So I want to type that up and edit it. So that'll be relaxing to type. Like I said before, typing can be relaxing. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I'm a little tired. Writing can take a lot out of you. But you know, the rewards are small, but to get something published, it keeps you going, you know. Hemingway talked a lot about feeling tired after writing, and I feel tired, and so I'm just gonna take it easy and have a good night. So that's where I'm at.
All right, Dan, so let's keep going here. What would you like to share with the audience?
Well, I'd like to talk to people who would think this documentary is like self-indulgent. If I could ask myself a question, like, isn't this self-indulgent? This guy, who does he think he is, filming his life? And I just thought it'd be interesting to film the life of a poet, somebody in the small press world. And, you know, it's not that I think I'm this great big star, that my life is so interesting. And a lot of poetry, a lot of this documentary shows the uninterestingness of writing poetry, or when you're waiting for an idea or waiting for inspiration to come. So I just wanted to address that in this.
Okay, and any final, like, words of wisdom for other aspiring or poets that like poetry, people that like poetry?
Yeah, when you're getting rejected a lot, I like to keep a list of my publications. So a good thought may be to keep a list of your publications so you can look at it when you're getting rejected a lot and be like, I did this though, at least I got in this. And if you don't have any publications yet and you're still trying to and you keep getting rejected, it takes time. That's just part of it. It just takes time.
Okay. Well, I think you've shared a lot of wise insight into the life of a poet, and I thank you very much for letting me interview you, dear.
You're welcome. Thank you for interviewing me.
All right. Good night.
All right, so I didn't get the typing done that I wanted to, but I'm gonna do it after this filming. That long poem that I tried to show you with my fancy camera work. I gotta edit and type that. A lot of times when I type something up, I edit as I go along. And that can be tiring too. Yeah, so this has been my documentary on the life of being a poet, and at least this one in the small press world. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was interesting and wasn't boring. All right, I'll see you in the verses.